Hello everyone, welcome back to India4IAS. My name is Shreyas. So in this video, I will be discussing about the PYQs of ancient, medieval and art and culture of the year 2023. So we'll begin the discussion on the video. See, last year question na ನಾವು ಅನಲೈಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ವಿ ಆಫ್ ದ 2022. ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನೀವು ನೋಡಿದ್ರೆ which of the following kingdoms came or got established between 6th and 7th century or after the fall of Guptas to the rise of Harshavardhana ಅಂತ ಕೇಳಿದ್ರು. ಸಿಮಿಲರ್ ಥೀಮ್ ನಾ ಪಿಕ್ ಮಾಡಿ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಇಯರ್ ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಕೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಸೊ ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ನೋಡಿ PYQs ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳೋದು. ಸೊ ಲೆಟ್ ಅಸ್ ಲುಕ್ ಎಟ್ ದಿಸ್ ಕ್ವಶನ್. ಕನ್ಸಿಡರ್ ದ ಫಾಲೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಡೈನಾಸ್ಟೀಸ್: ಹೊಯ್ಸಳ, ಗಹದವಾಲ, ಕಕತಿಯ, ಯಾದವ. How many of the above dynasties established their kingdoms in early 8th century? Early 8th century ಅಂದ್ರೆ around 700 to whatever you take, before 750 ಅನ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ, or 730 or 720, anything that you take. 7th century, 8th century beginning, right? So which of the above dynasties established a kingdom? ಈಗ ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಇಯರ್ ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಅಲ್ಲೇನೆ ಆಪ್ಷನ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಒನ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಆಪ್ಷನ್ ವಾಸ್ ಯಾದವಾಸ್ ಆಫ್ ದೇವಗಿರಿ, and I said there you need to remember the timeline and the region where Yadavas were situated. So Yadavas, western, southwestern part of India, of around present day Maharashtra. Timeline was 12th century. So this is not the answer. Kakatiyas of Warangal, present day Andhra Pradesh Telangana region. So Kakatiyas ellidru, what timeline idru? Kakatiyas, they got established after the fall of Rashtrakutas. ರಾಷ್ಟ್ರಕೂಟ ಯಾವಾಗ ಬರ್ತಾರೆ? 8th ಮತ್ತೆ 10th century ಮಧ್ಯ. ಸೊ ಇನ್ 10th century ಕಾಕತಿಯ ಗಾಟ್ ಎಸ್ಟಾಬ್ಲಿಷ್ಡ್. 900 ಸಮಥಿಂಗ್ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ದಿಸ್ ಬಿಕಮ್ಸ್ 10th century. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಕೇಳಿರೋದು 8th century. ಸೊ ಕಾಕತಿಯಸ್ಸು ಅಲ್ಲ. ಯಾದವಾಸ್ PYQ ಇಂದ ನಮಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತು. ಕಾಕತಿಯಸ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಹೊಯ್ಸಳಾಸ್ ವಿ ನೀಡ್ ಟು ನೋ ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ದೀಸ್ ಆರ್ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಕಿಂಗ್ಡಮ್ಸ್. ಹೊಯ್ಸಳಾಸ್ 11th century, 1000 and something ಟೈಮ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಆಗತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಹೊಯ್ಸಳಾಸ್ ಆಫ್ ದ್ವಾರ ಸಮುದ್ರ, ಕರ್ನಾಟಕದವ್ರು. ಸೊ ನಮಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿರಬೇಕು. ಸೊ 3 ಕಿಂಗ್, ಈ ಮೂರು ಇಟ್ ಡಸಂಟ್ ಫಿಟ್ ಇನ್. ನೌ ಸಿ ಗಹದವಾಲ. ಇಫ್ ಯು ರಿಮೆಂಬರ್ ಇನ್ ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಇಯರ್ PYQ ಇಟ್ ಸೆಲ್ಫ್ ಐ ಟೋಲ್ಡ್ ಯು ದಟ್ there was option given about Gurjara Pratyaras, GP, and this Gurjara Pratyara got fragmented in 10th century and they formed various parts. One was Paramaras of Malwa, another one was Chandelas, and another one was Gahadwalas. So Gurjara Pratyara got fragmented in 10th century. So Gahadwala, had it been formed, it would be in 10th century and not in 8th century. So if you see Gahadwala mate Yadava, we could have deduced from PYQ, and with decent knowledge we need to know about Hoysala and Kakatiya from our static. So nodi, easy agi, though this question looked difficult, we could have solved. PYQ 50% help ಮಾಡ್ತಿದೆ ಈ ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ static. So static and PYQs are very very important. This is the reason. So the answer to this question is none. We'll move to the next question. Like I said, Hoysala's 11th century. Hoysala's 11th century. Pratyara got broke up. It formed Gahadwalas. ಮತ್ತೆ ರೀಜನ್ ಕೂಡ ಗೊತ್ತಿರ್ಬೇಕು. ಎಲ್ಲಿ? ಕನೋಜ್ ರೀಜನ್. ಪರಮರಸ್ ಎಲ್ಲಿ? ಮಾಲ್ವಾ ರೀಜನ್. ಚಂಡೇಲಸ್ ಎಲ್ಲಿ? ಅಜ್ಮೇರ್ ರೀಜನ್. ಚೌಹಾನ್ಸ್ ಎಲ್ಲಿ? ಅಜ್ಮೇರ್ ರೀಜನ್. ಸೊ ಅಲಾಂಗ್ ವಿತ್ ದಿಸ್ ವಿ ನೀಡ್ ಟು ನೋ ತೋಮರ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ಆಫ್ ಡೆಲ್ಲಿ ರೀಜನ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಕಲಚುರೀಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಜಬಲ್ಪುರ್. ಸೊ ಈ ತರ ನಮಗೆ ಪಾರ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಗೊತ್ತಿರಬೇಕು. ಯಾದವಾಸ್ ಆರ್ ಆಫ್ ದೇವಗಿರಿ ಅಂಡ್ ದೇ ಆರ್ ಆಫ್ 12th century. And Kakatiyas, they served as sub-feudatories under Rashtrakutas. And when Rashtrakuta downfall happened, then Kakatiyas of Warangal came into establishment. Let us look into the next question. Who among the following rulers of Vijayanagara, important topic, constructed a large dam across Tungabhadra river? So construction of dam across Tungabhadra river. This is a very very static thing. It would have been mentioned in your static source that who was this person? It was Devaraya 1. ಸೊ ಇದು ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಟಿಕ್ ಪಾರ್ಟ್. ಇದ್ರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ನಮಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿರಬೇಕಿತ್ತು. ಸಪೋಸ್ ನಾವು ವಿಜಯನಗರನೇ ಓದಿಲ್ಲ ಅಥವಾ ವಿಜಯನಗರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಓದಿದೀವಿ, ವಿ ಆರ್ ನಾಟ್ ಏಬಲ್ ಟು ರಿವೈಸ್, ಅವಾಗ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದಿತ್ತು? ದೆನ್ ದ ಬೆಸ್ಟ್ ಗೆಸ್ ವರ್ಕ್ ದಟ್ ಯು ಕುಡ್ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಡನ್ ಇಸ್ ಟು ಚೂಸ್ ದ ಮೋಸ್ಟ್ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ರೂಲರ್ ಅಮಾಂಗ್ ದ ಫಾಲೋಯಿಂಗ್. ಮಲ್ಲಿಕಾರ್ಜುನ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಓದಿಲ್ಲ, ವೀರ ವಿಜಯ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಓದಿಲ್ಲ. ವಿರೂಪಾಕ್ಷ is the name of the god that we know. ಇದ್ರ ಬಗ್ಗೆನೂ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಓದಿಲ್ಲ. ದೇವರಾಯ 1, ದೇವರಾಯ 2, ಕೃಷ್ಣ ದೇವರಾಯ. ಸೊ ಇವ್ರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಓದಿದೀವಿ. ಸೊ ದೀಸ್ ವರ್ ದ ಮೋಸ್ಟ್ ಫೇಮಸ್ ಆಪ್ಷನ್ಸ್ or the names that we know from Vijayanagara. So construction of a dam across Tungabhadra, which indeed is a good deed or a large deed. So ಈ ತರ ಕೆಲಸ ಯಾರು ಮಾಡಬಹುದು? He would have been more famous. ಈ ತರ ಲಾಜಿಕ್ ಅಪ್ಲೈ ಮಾಡಿ ಕೂಡ we could have chosen ದೇವರಾಯ 1. ಕನ್ಫ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಯಾವಾಗ ಆಗ್ತಿತ್ತು? ದೇವರಾಯ 1, ದೇವರಾಯ 2 ಎರಡು ಆಪ್ಷನ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕೊಟ್ರೆ ಕನ್ಫ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಆಗ್ತಿತ್ತು. ಬಟ್ ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ನಾಟ್ ದ ಕೇಸ್, ರೈಟ್? ಸೊ now that ದೇವರಾಯ 1 has been the answer, we know that so many travelers visited, so many scholars visited Vijayanagara. So ದೇವರಾಯ 1 ಇದ್ದಾಗ ಯಾರಿದ್ರು ಅನ್ನೋದು ಗೊತ್ತಿರಬೇಕು. ದೇವರಾಯ 1 ಇದ್ದಾಗ ನಿಕೋಲೆ ಡಿ ಕೊಂಟಿ ಇದ್ದಿದ್ದು, ಇದು ನಮಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿರಬೇಕು. And also another thing, that ದೇವರಾಯ 1, he has praised through a poem about Gomteshwara of Shravanabelgola. This is also an important fact which we need to know. This question is rather difficult. Who among the following rulers of medieval Gujarat surrendered due to Portuguese? So here they are focusing on the ruler of Gujarat. So ruler of Gujarat ಮೇಲೆ ನಾವು ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಏನು ಓದಿರಲ್ಲ. We tend to focus more on the important kingdoms in medieval time. Medieval time ಅಲ್ಲಿ we study about Bahmani Sultanate, we study about Vijayanagara, we study about Delhi Sultanate, and we study about Mughals. So medieval ಅಲ್ಲಿ ತುಂಬಾ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಕಿಂಗ್ಡಮ್ಸ್ ನಾವು ಓದಲ್ಲ. ಸೊ ಇದು ಆಬ್ಸ್ಕ್ಯೂರ್ ಟಾಪಿಕ್ ನ ಪಿಕ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಫಾರ್ಮುಲೇಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಇದ್ರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಏನು ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ, ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಸಿ ಆಲ್ ದ ನೇಮ್ಸ್ ಸಾರ್ಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಸೀಮ್ಸ್ ಸಿಮಿಲರ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ. Ahmad Shah, Muhammad Shah, Bahadur Shah, and so on. This question was better meant to be left if we did not know anything, because this was a sort of difficult question to be answered. The answer to this is, who among the following rulers of medieval Gujarat surrendered due to Portuguese? Surrendering of due to Portuguese. This was been done by Bahadur Shah. And why did he do it? We'll have a brief understanding. So Portuguese got due. Why? Because Bahadur Shah, the ruler of Gujarat, he was afraid of the Humayun attack on his territory. So he allied with the Portuguese against the Mughals. So Bahadur Shah, he was the ruler of Gujarat. So initially the Turks and the Bahman Shah, they had allied against Portuguese. But later what happened? There was a threat of attack by Humayun to the territory of Gujarat. So that is when Bahadur Shah gave the territory of Diu to Portuguese. ಇದನ್ನ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡಬಹುದು? ಇದನ್ನೇ ಡಿಫರೆಂಟ್ ವೇ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕೇಳಬಹುದು. Bahadur Shah was a contemporary of which of the following Mughal emperor? Who was he? Humayun. So ಆ ತರ ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಇಂದ ಈ ತರ ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಟಿಕ್ ಪಾರ್ಟ್ ನ ನಾವು ಜ್ಞಾಪಕ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಬೇಕು. ದಟ್ Bahadur Shah of Gujarat and Humayun, they were contemporaries. We'll move to next question. In which one of the following regions was Dhanyakataka, which flourished as a prominent Buddhist center under Mahasangikas? Mahasangikas would come under Mahayana Buddhism. Mahayana Buddhism under Bharate. But where was this located? Dhanyakataka, which was an important Buddhist center, where was this located? Another static question. If you know, you know. You do not know, if you do not know. If you do not know anything, then so Buddhist center, Dhanyakataka. Dhanyakataka seems like a South Indian name. Dhanya plus Kataka. So Dhanyakataka seems like a South Indian name. If you did not know anything, look at the options. Had this come to your mind that Dhanyakataka seems sort of a South Indian name, then look at the options. Gandhara region, Kalinga, Magadha. The only option is Andhra Pradesh. And this happens to be the right answer. Idu mind ಗೆ ಬರ್ದೇ ಇದ್ರು ಕೂಡ Dhanyakataka, at least that it is a Indian name. So Gandhara region ಅಲ್ಲಿ the chances are less. And Dhanyakataka, even Kalinga doesn't seem that this name is fitting into this region, in the Odisha region. So the confusion would have been between Andhra and Magadha. 50-50 ಮಾಡಬಹುದಿತ್ತು. But if you took it to be a South Indian name, then you would have gone for the right answer. ಅದು ಗೊತ್ತಾಗ್ತಿಲ್ಲ ಇದು ಗೊತ್ತಾಗ್ತಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಬೆಟರ್ ಇಟ್ ವಾಸ್ meant to be left when we actually attempted this in the real exam. So Dhanyakataka located in the present day Guntur district of Andhra Pradesh. So ಇಷ್ಟು ನಮಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿರಬೇಕು that Dhanyakataka it is a important Buddhist center located in present day Andhra Pradesh. ಇಷ್ಟು ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಟಿಕ್ ನಮಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿದ್ರೆ that is enough. And this city of Dhanya and this center of Dhanyakataka it was been sacked by Pallavas in 6th century. And it also served as a capital for the Satavahanas. Now that Dhanyakataka has been appeared in the PYQ, a couple of facts we need to know that it was once a capital of Satavahanas and the city got sacked by the Pallavas. And where is it located? In Andhra Pradesh. Ishtu namige gottirbeku. So look at another statement. Easy question. Concept of stupa is Buddhist in origin. Okay. Stupa was generally a repository of relics. Makes sense. That is why we have the remains of Buddha kept under stupa. This is correct. Stupa was a votive and commemorative structure in Buddhist tradition. Yes, it has its roots in Buddhist. It has been found in Buddhist tradition and it is a commemorative structure. Makes sense. The concept of stupa is Buddhist in origin. Have we studied this thing? That we know that there are Buddhist stupas, but the stupa originated even before. It was a pre-Buddhist structure, so it is not Buddhist in origin. Idu ಒಂದು. ಇನ್ನೊಂದು UPSC ಯಾವಾಗಲೇ that so and so has been found or it found its origin under so and so ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದಾಗ usually it tends to be negative. You can go back and check through PYQs. So ಈ ತರ ಫ್ಯಾಕ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟು ರಾಂಗ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ. Please be very careful. So simple static part, stupa is a pre-Buddhist structure. So it was been made to mark important events and it also acts as the burial site. So it consists of a repository of relics such as Buddha, whatever was his physical remains or his belongings or the things that were used by him, those were kept under the stupa. So it has been acting as devotion and offering that is been made to Buddha. Simple static thing. So another question, it is a static question and it is a medium level or easy sort of question. Why? Because look at the question. With reference to ancient South India, Korkai, Pompuhar and Muchiri. I don't remember exactly in the PYQs, I do not remember which year. I had already discussed about Pompuhar in the synopsis that I was referring to in the slides. Port City Mel already in on question bandittu. So in that I brought this place also, Pompuhar. So what is that? This is another port city. Even if you did not see the Pompuhar part which I did, Korkai. See, Pompuhar mate Muchiri kelila andre okay. Korkai is a very famous place and it was a Pandyan port. Important or most important Pandyan port city was Korkai. Tondi and Musiri belong to Cheras. Puhar belong to Chera Cholas and Korkai belong to Pandyas. See, or yen madidare Puhar, Muchiri is of Cheras, Puhar is of Cholas and Korkai is of Pandyas. Chera Chola Pandya ಮೂರದು ಕಾಂಬಿನೇಷನ್ ಪಿಕ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಫಾರ್ಮುಲೇಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಈ ಮೂರಲ್ಲಿ ಅಟ್ ಲೀಸ್ಟ್ ಒಂದು ಪೋರ್ಟ್ ಸಿಟಿ ಜ್ಞಾಪಕ ಇದ್ರೂ ಕೂಡ ಈಸಿಲಿ ನಾವು ಆನ್ಸರ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದಿತ್ತು. ಯೂಶುವಲಿ UPSC ಏನ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ, ಕ್ಯಾಪಿಟಲ್ ಸಿಟೀಸ್ ನ ಕೇಳಲ್ಲ, ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ಅದು ಗೊತ್ತಿರುತ್ತೆ ಆಸ್ಪಿರೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಗೆ. ಸೊ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ, ಪೋರ್ಟ್ ಸಿಟೀಸ್ ಮೇಲೆ ಕ್ವಶನ್ಸ್ ಕೇಳುತ್ತೆ, ಕಾಯಿನ್ಸ್ ಮೇಲೆ ಕೇಳುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ದೀಸ್ ಆರ್ ದ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಏರಿಯಾಸ್ ವೇರ್ UPSC will ask questions. So along with this we will have to remember certain important other port cities. One I said Tondi, Musiri which belongs to Chera kingdom, Puhar belonging to Chola kingdom and it is also called Kaveri Patnam, and Pandya port was called Korkai. Idu already now discuss madagide. Which other areas which we need to remember? Muziri is a port city. Saliyur is another port city. Araki Medu near Pondicherry is another port city. So, Itara we will have to remember. So, another repetition of question from Sangam. Second question from Sangam. So, which one of the following explains the practice of Vatta Kirutal as mentioned in the Sangam poems? See, Sangam ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತು 300 BC to 300 CE ಮಧ್ಯ timeline. Sangam ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಚರಚೋಳ ಪಾಂಡ್ಯ ಬರ್ತಾರೆ ಗೊತ್ತು. But they have picked up a term and asked you which of the following fits in. Vatta Kirutal, king employing woman guards. See, ಇದು ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಇದನ್ನ ಹೆಂಗೆ ಆನ್ಸರ್ ಮಾಡಬಹುದಿತ್ತು? ಗೊತ್ತಿದ್ರೆ we would have marked it. ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಹೆಂಗೆ ಆನ್ಸರ್ ಮಾಡಬಹುದು? The answer to this is okay. Before that, let me see how we could have answered this before revealing the answer. So, kings employing woman bodyguards. Kings themselves had strength and they would have want more masculine or person with more strength, which were generally believed to be men at that point of time and even to present days. So, woman na bodyguards use mada chances kadme. So, this goes against the logic. So, this we could have eliminated. Learned persons assembling in royal courts to discuss religious matters. Okay. Young girls keeping watch over agriculture fields and driving away birds and animals. Okay. And look, a king defeated in a battle, committing ritual suicide by starving himself to death. If you know about the Sangam literature, it speaks of warrior ethic. It speaks of the erection of hero stone. Hero stone ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಕೇಳಿರಬೇಕು. All those people who fought in war and they died, hero stone is erected in their name. So it speaks much of the warrior ethic. And keeping that in mind, if you see, look at the options, B and C doesn't fit that much. Look at the option, a king defeated in battle, committing ritual suicide by starving himself to death. Why is he starving himself to death? Because he was being defeated in war, and once you are defeated, your dignity will reduce, and because of this low dignity, instead of living, rather you want to die. So, Vatta Kiruttal, the answer to this is D. B, C, it looks like a generic thing, but D, it fits in the ideology of the Sangam warrior or the Sangam kingdom that was been there. So, ee tara at least 33% chances irtittu. Idr madhyadalli which looks more appropriate, it would be based on your smart guesswork. So, the answer to this is D. And like I said, hero stones are erected. It is called Natukal or Virakkal. It has been created to commemorate heroes who sacrificed their lives in the war. And Sangam poems, it does speak of a heroic death and speaks of glory, warrior ethic, fame and so on. Another question, partially easy, partially difficult. Because options given here 1, 2, 3, 4 and not 1, 2, 2, 3 and so on, where we could have eliminated. So look at this, Deva Chandraguptam of Billana. This at least gothirbeku because it is been written by Vishakadatta, and Vishakadatta is a very famous personality who served under Guptas. Vishakadatta's Deva Chandraguptam. So Vishakadatta's Deva Chandraguptam. Idu namage gothirbeku. So Vishakadatta wrote Deva Chandraguptam. It was not Billana. And Vishakadatta, when you are speaking of Guptas, that means that this was around 3rd and 4th century. And who was Billana? We know that Billana ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಕೂಡ ಗೊತ್ತಿರಬೇಕು that he was from Kashmir region. And ಯಾವಾಗ ಬರ್ತಾರೆ Billana? It was in 12th century. So this doesn't fit in. Look at the other things. Somadeva Suri, Nayachandra Suri. ಇವ್ರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲದೆ ಇರಬಹುದು. Nagarjuna ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತು, that he belongs to Buddhism. Milinda Panha. This has been written by Nagasena of Buddhism and not Nagarjuna. So Nagasena, Nagarjuna, important personalities. Nagasena work, if you had come across, then you would have got even eliminated option 3. See, 2 madhya 4 madhya, I don't think that most of us would have heard of these things. If we have heard, then it would have been easy. If not, what is that we could have done? Answer 4 alla, answer 3 alla, 50-50 ಮಾಡಬೇಕಿತ್ತು. So ಈ ತರ 2 options wrong ಆದಾಗ the chances that B is more, the chances that B is correct becomes more. So ಈ ತರ B ನ choose ಮಾಡಬಹುದು ಅಥವಾ A ನ choose ಮಾಡಬಹುದು. This was left to you. 50-50. At least 50-50 chances reduce ಆಗಿತ್ತು because 2 things are easy. Deva Chandraguptam ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತು, Nagarjuna ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತು, but not these 2 options because these 2 are actually correct. So like I said, Milinda Panha, it has been written by Nagasena, who is a Buddhist monk. And Nagarjuna, now that we studied about Nagarjuna, we need to know to which timeline or which school of Buddhism he belongs. Madhyamaka school of thought. So, and Bilhana, like I said, was a Kashmiri poet of 12th century. So, another simple and easy question, and you cannot make mistake in this. Buddhism, Jainism, important topic and recurrently I have told. So, this is another question. Souls are not only the property. So, it is talking about souls. Soul anta bandi takshane, the one who gives more importance to soul or sees soul everywhere, which is that one that needs to come to your mind. Soul and bodi takshane gotabe answer. Soul are not the only property of animal and plant but also of rocks. So, it means that they are seeing souls in inanimate objects, not just in human beings. And many other natural objects not looked on as living by other religious one. Which of the following does it? It is Jainism. Buddhism also believes in soul, but it believes in living beings and not in others. See, Shaivism, Vaishnavism, Buddhism, all this believes in souls, but in living things. It is only Jainism which believes soul in inanimate objects such as rocks also. It is a simple static thing and we cannot afford to make mistake in such questions. ಮತ್ತೆ ಕೇವ್ ಇಸ್ ಎ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಥಿಂಗ್. ಪಾಂಡುಲ್ಯನ ಕೇವ್ಸ್ ಮೇಲೆ ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಬಂದಿದೆ, ಸೀತಾನ್ ಮಸಲ್ ಮೇಲೆ ಕೂಡ ಬಂದಿದೆ. ಸೊ ಈ ತರ ಕೇವ್ಸ್ ಮೇಲೆ ಪಿಕ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಕ್ವಶನ್ಸ್ ಕೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. ಅಜಂತಾ ಮೇಲೆ ಬಂದಿದೆ, ವಿ ಡಿಸ್ಕಸ್ ಇಟ್ ರೈಟ್. ಅಜಂತಾ ಕೇವ್ಸ್ ಪಾಸಸ್ ಥ್ರೂ ದ ಗಾರ್ಜ್ ಆಫ್ ವಿಚ್ ರಿವರ್? ವಗೋರಾ ರಿವರ್. ದೆನ್ ಪಾಂಡುಲ್ಯನ ಕೇವ್ಸ್ ಗೆ ರಿವರ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ರು. ಸೊ ಕೇವ್ಸ್ ಇಸ್ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಟಾಪಿಕ್. ಸೊ ಕೇವ್ಸ್ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಟಾಪಿಕ್ ಅಂತ ಬಂದ್ರೆ ಬುದ್ಧಿಸ್ಟ್ ಕೇವ್ಸ್ ಯಾವುದು, ಜೈನಿಸಮ್ ರಿಲೇಟೆಡ್ ಕೇವ್ಸ್ ಯಾವುದು, ಮತ್ತೆ ಹಿಂದೂಯಿಸಮ್ ಇನ್ ವಿಚ್ ವೈಷ್ಣವ ಅಂಡ್ ಶೈವೈಟ್ ಕೇವ್ಸ್ ಬಂಪ್ಸ್, in which places are this located? ಇದ್ರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಒಂದು ಬೇಸಿಕ್ ನೋಟ್ಸ್ ನಾವು ಮಾಡಿ ರೆಡಿ ಇಟ್ಕೊಬೇಕು. ಸೀತಾನ್ ವಸಲ್ caves is dedicated to Jainism and it is in Tamil Nadu. So this is correct. Besnagar cave, it is in Madhya Pradesh and it is dedicated to Vaishnavism and not Shaivism. So this becomes wrong. Baja caves is in Maharashtra and Baja caves is dedicated to Buddhism. So the answer to this question is B. If we knew only about Sita and Vasal, then we need to add these two to our notes because you never know these two, when these two will appear in the subsequent year prelims paper. So Besnagar, Madhya Pradesh, Besnagar is now called Vidisha, Vaishnavite sect. Baja caves, Hinayana Buddhism. Innone step munde hogಬೇಕಂದ್ರೆ Baja caves which is in Maharashtra, it belongs to ಹೀನಯಾನ. ಇದನ್ನ ಮಹಾಯಾನ ಅನ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಫ್ಯೂಚರ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಸೆಂಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಕೂಡ ಬರ್ಬೋದು. ಸೊ ದೇರ್ ವಿ ನೀಡ್ ಟು ಬಿ ಕೇರ್ಫುಲ್. ಅಂಡ್ ಸೀತಾನ್ ವಸಲ್ ತಮಿಳ್ನಾಡು ಜೈನಿಸಮ್. ಸೊ ಲೈಕ್ ವಿ ಸಾ ಇನ್ ದಿಸ್ ಪೇಪರ್ ದೇರ್ ವರ್ ಫ್ಯೂ ಈಸಿ ಕ್ವಶನ್ಸ್ ಅಂಡ್ ದೇರ್ ವರ್ ಫ್ಯೂ ಟಫ್ ಕ್ವಶನ್ಸ್. 2020-2021 ಕಂಪೇರ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ದ ಡಿಫಿಕಲ್ಟಿ ಲೆವೆಲ್ ಹ್ಯಾಸ್ ಡಿಕ್ರೀಸ್ಡ್. ಅಂಡ್ ಇಫ್ ಯು ಸಿ ಇನ್ ದ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ವಿಡಿಯೋಸ್ ದಟ್ ಐ ಮೇಕ್ in the year 24 and 25 ಮತ್ತೆ difficulty level decrease ಆಗಿದೆ. So ancient and medieval, if I have to tell, the difficulty level sort of has been decreasing. So modern history ಕೂಡ ಆ ತರನೇ sort of thing has been visible because 2025 ಅಲ್ಲಿ modern ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕೂಡ very easy questions ಕೂಡ ಬಂದಿದೆ. So you never know how the pattern changes. So please do not neglect ancient and medieval because it could decide, it could make or break your prelims attempt. I hope you like watching the video. Thank you for watching.